The Get Down is brought to you by Digital Music Pool. Digital Music Pool is the ultimate record pool for professional DJs looking for the hottest tracks and exclusive hits updated daily in an easy-to-use platform. You can find exclusive edits from myself, Cream, Adam B., Andrew Marks, Angelo the Kid, Armin Averu, Chumpian, Dan FX, Castra, Pat C, and Samus J only on DMP. And we're giving you a chance to try their service for just $9.99 for the first month. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes or on the Get Down or Cream Instagram pages, create an account, and enter the promo code CREAM at checkout for your discounted month. DMP is my go-to record pool for new and exclusive music to play in my sets. So become a member for just $9.99 for the first month with the code CREAM and check it out for yourself. Click the link in the show notes or on the Get Down or Cream Instagram pages to sign up now. You will not be disappointed. If you love listening to the Get Down, you will love the video version of our show on YouTube even more. With all new audio and video upgrades, we've taken the show to the next level. On YouTube, you get to see our facial expressions, hand gestures, and real passion we have for this industry and for helping you grow your DJ business. Click the link in the show notes or on the Get Down Instagram page to watch the podcast now or search Get Down DJs on YouTube. We would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to our channel, like, and comment any questions you might have that we could bring up on the show. On this episode of The Get Down, we feature rising dance music star DJ producer ZUEZEU. His infectious energy and personality shine through as we dig into how he's grown so quickly from a local Hawaii DJ to international touring artist. We discuss the power of social media and how approaching his brand as a full-time marketer has propelled him to new heights. Next, we talk about the best and worst parts of tour life, the evolving landscape of college bookings, and the unforgettable energy of DJing party schools. Finally, we dig into ZUEZEU's latest release, The Get Down, and hear invaluable advice for up-and-coming producers, drawing from his own experiences as a self-taught artist. Let's get into this episode of The Get Down with ZUEZEU. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the 134th episode of The Get Down, brought to you by Digital Music Pool. My name is Cream, and we have a very special guest, my man ZUEZEU in the building. What's up, man?
How you doing? I'm chilling. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, we've been kind of talking about trying to do this. We were talking about maybe doing it live in person when you were here in New York, but it just didn't work out schedule-wise.
Would have been more optimal for sure. Yeah, I was there for... I think I was there for like 12 hours, 14 hours, just in and out. But
yeah, you sent me your schedule. I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this, bro. This is also the first podcast I've ever recorded without a co-host. So Gary W's not here. Sometimes my boy Ferrari will come on and co-host with me. So this is something new for me too. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Dude, I'm excited to have you. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of how you started and where you came from. So you're from Hawaii, and I know a lot of the articles and different things I've read have just like talked about how much you're proud of being from Hawaii and you want to be one of the first like big artists to make it from there. So tell me a little bit about home and why it's so important to you.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised there. And growing up, like even now, the nightlife industry like isn't super huge. There's honestly like 2 or 3 actual like club venues. I don't know, like growing up, like I didn't really get to see a lot of big artists come and visit Hawaii just because it's so small. Like you're literally in a capacity room that has like 1,000 people that it can hold, or basically like a football stadium or a festival type of situation. So yeah, I moved out of Hawaii when I was like 17. I moved to San Diego. And then like Irvine, Newport, Orange County area. I moved around a bit when I was like 18. And I was doing video production then. So I originally moved out there. I worked in Hollywood for about a year. I worked in a restaurant, did kind of, a bunch of things. And then I slowly started getting more into the nightlife industry. I met this buddy of mine, Cal, and we used to throw like underground rave events and stuff in downtown LA.
Nice.
And that was like more how I started getting into the nightlife industry, and then started transitioning more into DJing. And then about a year and a half ago, I moved back to Hawaii. So I still live there right now. I don't go back as often as I would like to, just because I'm touring and it's far. And
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool, man. So tell me about the scene there a little bit, because I'm interested to know. I know you said there's like either the huge stadium or the 1,000-person clubs, but are there a lot of clubs that are at least booking like high level local talent?
As far as high level local talent, there is a lack of that, just because I feel like a lot of people that get to a certain level end up leaving because there's more
Right.
opportunities in, like New York, Miami, LA. So the guys that are still there, they're doing a million other things as well than doing, like local DJing, because there's just not enough spots, and, there's not enough clubs and bars that people can kind of be able to pursue it. There's not really like a path that's there. But more recently, like we have a couple bigger promoters that have came in and have been changing the scene like drastically in the last like 2-3 years. It's just harder for them to get bigger talent to come, because
Yeah.
like I'm talking like the second like biggest like known club there is called like Hawaiian Brian's, like HB Social, and that cap is like 550 people.
Right.
So
So it's tough
if you're
to
bringing
pay.
out, I mean, yeah, like financially, it like doesn't make sense unless the club is the one that's bringing that artist there. Like if you're a promoter and you're, paying a fee for the venue, and then you're a promo fee, and then you have to bring the artist all the way out. Like tickets are either going to be insanely expensive to come and see that artist, or they're just going to break even or even lose money in some cases.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky situation. A lot of the artists that do end up coming do it for like really cheap, just because they want to come and like do a show for their fans there, and a little bit of a vacation as well.
Yeah,
An
I was gonna
excuse to
say
get,
it's not a bad
yeah, an
place to
excuse to
be
get out there.
stuck for a
Nah.
weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's really interesting that you said you were doing some promoting, but also video production. And I feel like, how has that helped you as a DJ? Because you could see it in a lot of your content and how
Yeah,
you push
yeah.
your own shows.
Yeah, it's been huge. I mean, I'm very big on making sure that my branding and my imagery and everything is to a certain level. And yeah, I grew up basically doing everything content and media and marketing related. So I started off doing video production, got into photography, photo editing, video editing, sound design. That's kind of low key how I got more into music. And then going back to as far as graphic design and animation, I make pretty much all of my flyers, do all of my video editing, all of my photo editing, and yeah, it's saved me a lot of money, and it saved me a lot of time as far as trying to get the right feel and the right vibe. And I don't know, I put a lot of time and I put a lot of effort into my content across YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and I feel like that's been the biggest thing that has helped me grow so much in the last year. Like
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure. I mean,
talking about it.
that's how we connected. I found you on social, and
Yeah.
I think I came from a marketing background, so I love
Mhm.
everything about your brand and your aesthetic. And it's it's hard for you, the artist, to let a designer or someone else kind of take the reins on some of those things, because
Yeah.
it's hard to find someone that really knows your voice and knows
Mhm.
what you're really looking for better than you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like right now, I travel around all the time, and I don't have the budget to have a videographer come with me. So in order to achieve like my look, me and my management spent a lot of time trying to find, like local talented videographers and photographers, across my tour route. And then now I have like a good team of guys in the big cities that I go to that understand the look that I'm going for and the feel of the video. And then I just get all the raw videos and all the raw photos and give it my own look and stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah, that's been super huge for me.
Do you think that your growth on social media and your presence on social media is what has allowed you to grow so quickly? Obviously, your music is a whole other thing, but
Yeah.
how much do you think the social media presence has really helped you?
Yeah, I mean, it's gigantic, but like
Yeah.
obviously like I had to make a lot of changes with myself. I don't know, typically up until the last, I would say like even 8 months ago, I was not comfortable in front of the camera, like talking to my phone. Like it's weird. And like it's normal that that's weird. A lot of people think like you either have it or you don't. Like if you want to make it happen, you got to make it happen. You know, like you need to push yourself and make yourself comfortable in front of the camera and talk to a lot of people and like just become one with your phone because that's huge. I mean, also like there's a lot of days where like I'm not feeling it. Like we're all human. Like there's a lot of days where my management is like, you have to push content out, and I know I have to push content out, and I don't want to hop on the phone. Like maybe my skin is breaking out, like something, but I don't know. It's like just coming to terms with yourself and just like, if you really want to build a fan base, you have to make people feel like they know you without them knowing you. That's like the biggest thing. If people can fall in love with your brand, fall in love with you as a person, fall in love with your music, and want to go out of their way to come to your shows, like last week I had people that had never met me. They drove out 4 hours to come and see me. And like for me, like still as a small artist, like that means a lot. And they felt like they knew me, like they were comfortable to approach me and take photos with me and talk to me and stuff. And I don't know, that's everything. But
such a cool feeling, everyone, right?
Yeah, I mean it's awesome, dude. It's like you put all this time into it and people are like noticing it. And they appreciate it. Being genuine is like 100% like the best way you can go about building a fan base. And especially on TikTok. TikTok's like a very personal platform, and that raw organic content is like it relates to the viewer a lot better.
I think your personality really shines through in your content, and that's what makes people like you. Honestly, no, it's you can tell that you really enjoy what you're doing, and it's just real, like people can tell when something's fake. Like you said, being genuine. And I think that's such an important thing, not only for your content, but just in business as well. Like in creating your brand and how you kind of handle yourself in your business. If you're genuine, people are going to recognize that and want to work with you a lot more.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I get a lot of messages of people that are like, what do you think is the biggest thing? And I don't know, a lot of the artists, they're so talented, and they're just trying to rely on their music to blow up, which is like, obviously it's very important, but like in this day and age, like you have to take everything off. Like the music needs to be there. Like the vibe in a way needs to be there. Like you have to have like clear branding. You have to basically give these people reasons to follow you and reasons to want to join you and feel like they know you is huge.
Yeah, I think relying on your music is an older, out of date way of thinking about it. There are a lot of artists who are amazing producers putting out great music, but they don't have the brand and they don't have the social media presence or YouTube presence or any kind of presence other than just putting out tracks. And I think in this day and age, it's really hard to be super successful in that way.
Yeah,
it can be done, but it's harder to do for sure.
It can be done, but like when you're starting out, man, like you gotta give everybody a million reasons on why they should believe in you and why they should be a part of you and why they should follow you. And I'm realizing now too, like just from what I've seen on my end of the industry, a lot of like the labels and agents and management, they're not willing to put in the extra work to try to find somebody that just has the music and try to help them build everything around that. They want to find the guy and they want to sign with the person that is kind of figuring it out on their own. And like, like if you're in the position where you don't need them, that's the position you need to be in, to be honest. Because there's, it sucks to hear, but there are like a million guys out there that make amazing music. They make awesome music and they're lacking all the other things. And if you could just bridge that gap as much as you humanly can, get out of your shell, that's the biggest takeaway.
I think young artists sometimes are thinking like, I have to get management and I have to get an agent. But in order for you to be able to get those things, you have to have everything in place and already being successful. Someone's not going to sign you and then make you successful. They're going to help you grow once you reach a certain level. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that aspect of it.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know, for the way that I felt for a while, especially like my first 6 months starting out, in my head, I basically told myself like, I'm not an artist. Like I'm not a DJ. I'm not a producer. I am a marketer. I market. That's all I do. I wake up every day. I make a list. I go on my phone. I figure out what's trending, like what sounds are trending, what hashtags are trending, what content does well, what content does bad. And like, it does take a while to figure that out. And to be honest, you'll never really figure it out because it's always constantly changing. But yeah, I mean, if you lock down marketing, like you can kind of succeed in whatever you want. But I would say that I'm like a part-time DJ and producer, and I'm like pretty much a full-time marketer because that's what it takes in 2023, 2024 to make it as an artist. It sucks, but as soon as you accept that and you tell yourself, okay, this is what I need to do, because if you're making amazing music and nobody's hearing it, it sucks, dude. It sucks. And it's like, I would take that and use that as motivation and use that as drive to, you know, get out of your shell and push yourself and take, you know, YouTube courses on marketing. You know, there's the content's there. You just got to look for it.
I think the marketing part can be taught more so than the production parts.
Oh, 100%.
So if you're an artist and you're making amazing music and you don't have the other part of it, number one, you could either hire someone to help you or you can figure it out. You just have to spend the time in doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. 100%.
So I want to talk a little bit about tour life. And you started this tour when? In the fall? Was that your tour start?
So this is like my second tour. My first tour started the beginning of January of, I don't even know what year we're in. Are we in 2023 still?
Yeah.
2023. I think, my first show was like January 13th. And then I took like a little bit of time off in the summer. But yeah, my official tour started in the fall. Yeah, August.
So how has tour life been? What are some of your favorite parts of being on tour, and what are some of your least favorite parts?
Yeah. Okay. My favorite part, obviously, is all the people. Oh my God. I'm like a very social person. I just meet so many amazing people, and I go to so many towns and so many cities and a lot of places and a lot of people that I would never meet in a million years if I wasn't in the situation that I'm in right now. It puts a lot of things in perspective to, you know, understand and see where people live and how many people are actually out there. Like, it's insane. Like, when you're traveling constantly in all these other random states and all these small cities, like, it really goes to show like how huge this world really is. It's insane. Like, when you're staying at home and like you see online, you can't really fathom how big the world actually is until you're traveling and you're constantly flying back and forth. The worst part by far, oh my God. Okay, I love living in Hawaii, but it's like, it's actually killing me. It's insane. So I literally could not choose a state that would be more difficult for me to be touring out of. I still do the flight all the time. I do it every other week and sometimes every week just to be back there and just like jump in the water and go surf for a day or two before my shows, in between shows. But I mean, the travel's bad. It's bad. And the thing too is like a lot of the shows that I get and the routing is super last minute. So I end up not being able to get my tickets until like a few days before the show, which means I have like the most awful seat on the plane. I'm in the back, like stuck in between two people. There's an exit row behind me. I can't recline my seat, like awful. I get a lot of sleep on the plane. So that's huge. I've invested a lot of money in neck pillows because that's huge.
Do you have a favorite right now?
Huh?
You got a favorite neck pillow for our travelers to grab?
I do. Okay, so I don't know the name of the brand, but they sell them at like it's like the same exact neck pillow that they have in like majority of the major airports. I don't know why. Maybe they signed like a contract with like all these airports. But it's like a weird shaped one, but it's like $50. And I have
but if it works, it's worth it.
It's worth it. But I have like 3 of them and I rotate them out because I don't really have time to do laundry a lot of the time. Yeah.
I got one with a hood because I can't sleep if it's bright out. So I put it over my face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I could sleep in like broad daylight. That's not even an issue at all.
All right. So something that I've seen from your more recent shows is you've kind of implemented this 360 DJ booth thing. And you know, it's awesome. I think it's awesome. I played a couple shows like that, but how did the 360 booth idea come about? And is it as successful as it seems like it is?
Yeah. Okay. So, obviously that Fright Again Boiler Room set just like took over the world. And, the Boiler Room vibe in general has like been taking the world by storm. And for me, like, I like it when everybody's like around me. Like if it was up to me, I would have as many people on stage as possible at all of my shows, just because it makes me feel like I'm a part of the party. Like a lot of the times when I'm on like a bigger stage and I'm away from everyone and I'm by myself and like I'm kind of just performing by myself,
it's lonely up there.
I don't feel like I'm in the show. Like I feel like I'm spectating the show, and it's kind of weird for me. So yeah, this show that I did was super last minute. So I had a show that was going to be on a Thursday, and then it got canceled last minute. So I was in Hawaii on a Thursday. I'm never in Hawaii on a Thursday because I always have shows on Thursdays everywhere else but Hawaii. And yeah, so anyways, the show got canceled, and I was like, if I'm here on a Thursday, I'm throwing a show for sure. So I called my manager, and he was like, yeah, you're going to be able to fly out Friday morning. And I was like, this is perfect. Within 3 days, actually within like 2 hours, I called my boy. I called all my local DJ friends up there. I called the venue, got like security confirmed, rental equipment confirmed, everything confirmed, like literally in the matter of hours. Made a flyer, and then the next day we announced the show, and we sold out. We sold out in about a day and a half, 2 days for the show. And it was hard for me to market it because I was like just trying to tell everyone. I was like, 360 stage, big room, 600 people, and a stage right in the middle. And everyone's like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. But like in Hawaii, people don't really do this type of stuff. Like genuinely, from what I've seen, this is the first one anyone's done, like a true 360 stage. Yeah, the next day, me and my homie, we made like a custom like DJ table. We like spray painted it and made it like high enough and like built a little stage platform. And yeah, that show was awesome. That was like probably one of like the most favorite shows I've done, just because everyone was right there and the content was amazing and the vibe is awesome. Yeah, the vibe is sick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hometown show, new idea, super high energy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Have you been able to implement that? Have you been able to set up that stage for other shows, or has it just been that one?
Not yet. We're going to though. Yeah. So this was only like last month, like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So we have stuff planned out. In Hawaii, it's easy for me to pull it off because I have all the connections. But in a lot of other clubs and places that I'm not super familiar with, it is a bit tricky to convince the production to be able to allow that, because like it is a huge liability having all those people like right around the equipment that costs, like $10, $15, $20,000. Right. But yeah, we do have some planned in like the next couple months.
Yeah, my boy Angelo the Kid, he lives down in Charlotte now, and they do a party called Surround Sessions. So they do once a month on a Sunday. Well, they'll bring in an artist, or Angelo will play the show, and they kind of set it up down in front of the original DJ booth and big LED wall and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. And I think it's like it's just something different, And you're right, where everyone's seeing all the clips from all the different boiler rooms and are getting excited about it. And I think as more and more of those clips are coming out, I think the average club goer would be more excited about going to a 360 show for sure.
Yeah. Also with the 360 shows too, is like people are throwing their phones out, they're getting photos. Like when I'm playing my show, like I'm not just facing one direction, like I'm actually turning around and like holding people's hands and like jumping with them. Like, oh my God, it's so fun. It's so fun. It like doesn't even compare to anything.
Some Knock 2 shows where he has that set up too. Yeah, and his music's crazy high energy too. So
so all of the shows that Knock 2 does on his tour, the Room 202 or something, all of his shows he does 360 stages, which is awesome. That's my goal. Once I'm bigger and I'm able to, hold that standard. There's a lot. Also, Fred again tries to do 360 shows for all of them. Yeah, it's a better vibe.
Yeah, being able to connect with your crowd is super important, and I think that's as a artist and a performer, it's easier to get into the whole performance, and you could see it in your body language and just the way that you're reacting. So super cool. So you've been booking a ton of college shows, and I kind of like I've been talking about this with Gary a little bit, where it seems like the colleges and some of the college talent buyers are booking more bigger shows than like actual nightclubs in various cities. Are you finding that to be the case? I mean, what are your thoughts on that comment?
It just depends. It depends which clubs, it depends which states, it depends which cities. But I mean, yeah, obviously like a lot of the bigger college towns, um, like Bama and a lot in Texas, like the fraternities have the budget for it.
Right. Like
And if they
those are the
have the
talent
budget,
buyers, the frats and sororities, which is
I
crazy.
know, I know, it's insane. I wouldn't say. I think it's looking like it's more, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It just depends. Also, I know a lot of DJs too, like bigger artists that'll do free shows or like really cheap shows to play at big fraternities and big colleges and stuff like that. And those are opportunities that they wouldn't be giving to nightclubs just because they play so many clubs and it's different for them to play for the colleges. And a
Right.
lot of times it's kind of more fun for them. Yeah.
It's different vibe, different energy, and you know, it's definitely I mean, I went to college, so I went to
Yeah,
James Madison in Virginia, and like we were a huge party school.
yeah.
And you know, my D Rock actually went to JMU also, and he's been on the college tour as well,
Yeah.
and rocking all those shows. I wish we were doing that more when I was in school. But
Hmm. Yeah.
all right, so some of the college towns you've been to, what's one of your favorite college towns that you've DJ'd in?
Um, this might get a little rivalry. I don't know. I think
You can
okay,
name a
like one of
couple.
my
You don't have to name just one.
yeah, I can name a couple. Okay, so one of my favorite shows, Arkansas, University of Arkansas, crazy, insane. But yeah, that fraternity specifically, they got like Lil Skies and they got like another band and they rented out like a huge venue and it was just awesome. The energy was crazy. Um, but I would say overall, University of Texas. University of Texas is insane at Austin. Yeah, all the parties they do, the energy, they're all super into house music. It's awesome. Yeah, their shows are sick. Also, that whole town, I love Austin. Austin's awesome.
It's one city I've actually never been to.
You
It's
never
on my
been to
short list.
Austin?
I've never been. No,
Wow. Yeah, Austin's awesome. I love Austin.
I want
Yeah.
to try and get to South by Southwest one of these years for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I
All
don't
right.
know,
So
dude.
other parts of your tour that I kind of like ran through some of your socials. I saw you got to play a back to back recently with Jake Shore,
Yeah.
and I just like, how did that come about? Have you ever played with him before? Or was that your first show with him?
So me and him have been like internet friends. I'm like internet friends with a lot of DJs because it's like this little like culty type of thing where all the DJs just like get on their level and they're all sending each other songs and stuff. It's super awesome. But I was accepted into, little DJ forums. And yeah, me and Jake Shore became friends through social media and kind of just talking back and forth. My management and his management has a relationship as well. Um, and yeah, basically this frat both hit us up and was trying to get a show together. And then our managers were like, let's do a back to back. And I was like, that's cool. Like, I like Jake's vibe. I feel like his vibe matches my show vibe. I like the music he
Yeah.
plays. Like I felt like it was going to be a good time. But also, I've played back to backs with people that don't flow very well at all because every DJ has, their own style and their own flow. And some DJs like to take over and be super in control, and some are, running around taking shots in the back, during the show. But yeah, we got there. We did like a little sound check. This was like the first time I met him was the day of the show, like 2 hours before the show. We met out. We did like a little sound check, try to figure out the vibe we were going to go for, if we were going to do song for song or 2 songs and then 2 songs, like how many drops were we going to play through. And like communication's everything. And like I like to communicate. I'll tell you that. And he likes to communicate. So it was super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We were taking turns on the mic, hyping up the crowd. It was a great time. But yeah, me and Jake are doing another back-to-back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah. In November 11th or something. But yeah, we're announcing that one soon. That one's going to be awesome. Yeah.
The back to back vibe, you're right, can either be amazing or like, all right, this is not really working.
Mhm.
But when you do find that other person that you can vibe with and the energy's there and like you guys can play off each other, it makes sense to play more shows together, and it creates something different for the fans. And I think it's super fun as far as from a DJ perspective for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Also, like cross promotion is huge. like introducing my people to him and vice versa. That's really like a huge part of this industry is, I feel like in a lot of other industries, people are weird about collaborations and like try to gatekeep like their fan base and stuff. But like in the music industry, especially like house music, techno, EDM, everyone is collaborating. Everyone. It's like everyone knows everyone, and it's super awesome and it's super fluid. And yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's a good time.
I think we've, like our company, the Get Down, we've kind of learned that collaboration is usually the best way to grow, And it's like when you find like-minded people and you find like-minded businesses, you want to kind of latch onto those people, and together we can go further than if it's just individual. So I love that for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
So you're going international this year. That's pretty sweet. Are you approaching your shows out there any differently than you would a US show?
100%. I mean, we'll see. So like as far as like the sets that I'm going to be doing and the music that I'm going to be playing, we'll see how it goes. Like I'm preparing so much music and like so many different set lists for these shows, and like whatever the vibe is, I can basically switch on the dime and figure out what's going on. But I mean, I'm really excited. Majority of the following and the listeners that I have on Spotify and Apple Music are European based. Also, I have a lot of like following in Latin America. So I don't know. We'll see how the vibe is, but I'm super excited for how the shows are. The clubs there and the culture just like seems to be a lot stronger. People get deep. People get really deep down there. And I'm excited for that. I'm dropping a new track with this artist, Jend. The name of the song is The Get Down, which is
I know, I love that.
Yeah, we're dropping that song in like 2 or 3 days from now. And yeah, he lives in Austria. So he's got that, European vibe, and he shows me a lot of clubs out there, and it looks super awesome. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely something different. I think you're right. Like the vibe seems to be a bit deeper, where it's maybe a little less like mashup culture and kind of you can play more original type stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know.
It's very deep, and I'm excited because I want to go as deep as I can. That's the only drawback for me playing a lot of college shows is a lot of them aren't there for you. They're there because, they support that frat, or they just want to party and they just want to have a good time. Sometimes they want to just stay on the side where they're more comfortable with and the more mainstream stuff. And sometimes the later the night gets, people want to get really deep. Yeah, it depends. But Europe, I don't know. I have high expectations for Europe, so we'll see. Yeah.
You should, man. I'm excited for you. That's going to be awesome. So you mentioned your song, The Get Down, that's coming out. We'll put the pre-save in the show notes. And we'll also add the just the Spotify link or Apple Music link once the song comes out for sure.
Cool, appreciate it.
So that track is a little more Latin house vibe, right? I was listening to it earlier.
Yeah.
And then you've also made tech house, and you also made kind of another track that you made was sort of like it was like housey Latin house, but it also had like a stutter house vibe. So where do you see your music production going? What's kind of like the vibe you're really trying to achieve?
Yeah, so I feel like if there's a lot of artists watching this, you may find this relatable, but I feel like when you start getting into producing and you start making tracks and you're deciding which ones you should drop, I feel like a lot of people overthink what their sound should be and trying to stay consistent with a certain sound. And for a minute I was like that, and then I was like, screw it. Like, if I think this is cool, if people are messing with it, like, whatever, I'm just going to drop it and kind of like make whatever my little heart desires. And I don't know, like my newer stuff, like a lot of my unreleased is like kind of dark, like techno, like really clubby stuff. And I don't know, I just think like if a sound is dope, it's dope. Like I've been going back and forth. I don't know. We'll see. I like experimenting with different vibes. Also, like I play a lot of different shows. And ideally, I want to make the music that I want to play during my shows. So if I'm playing, like a more like beach day club vibe, I have originals that I could drop. If I'm playing like some crazy techno club in Berlin, I have an original that I can drop,
For sure.
I like a bunch of different vibes. Also, like the music I listen to is like an insane spectrum. I listen to everything under the sun because I can get down to it,
Who are some of the artists that you really like?
Oh my God. Dude, there's so many.
Do you listen to music like all different genres? Or are you just talking about like how EDM and house music?
All different genres and like all different subgenres. But obviously, like I'm gonna be a little bit of a cop out here. There's a reason why these people are huge, but Chris Lake is obviously like the biggest influence to me as
Yeah.
far as what got me into music and his style and his projects and the simplicity, but like the complexity of the sound is amazing to me. So Chris Lake is obviously my number one. And then after that is the newer Malpeace sounds and John Summit sounds and all of that. Yeah, I don't know. As far as like my big top three artists, they're all like kind of mainstream now, but there's a reason why they're at the top, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think our EDM and like house music right now is in a really great place. And I don't know, I haven't been able to say that a lot over the last few years, but for me personally, there's a lot of like interesting artists. I do like the darker, faster sound also, which is becoming really popular. And like I'm playing a lot of that stuff in my shows locally. And
Yeah.
whether people love it or not, like it's what I'm into. And I kind of am like forcing it down the local clubs' throats a little bit just to kind of see how far I could go.
Yeah, recently, Eli Brown has been like my biggest inspiration. I just love the way, I don't know, I love his sound. It goes insane in the clubs and
Yeah.
it just like, it feels right, you know? You can kind of just sit there and you look around and everybody's also just on the same wavelength. And yeah, I don't know. Eli Brown is a huge one
Yeah,
as well.
he's killing it too. I think as an artist, when you have constrictions like I have to make this genre, I have to make this BPM,
Yeah.
you're less creative, you know? And for someone like you that likes different types of music, why not produce different styles of music, you know? I think that's something that young producers kind of get stuck in, like, oh, well, Chris Lake has a sound, so I have to have a sound that's one thing, you know? But I don't think it has to be that way.
Yeah. I mean, even Dom Dalla, like he's going all over the place too. You know, with his vibes and his music as well. Especially like the newer, like Saving Up
I love that
compared
track.
to, yeah, I know, but Saving Up compared to like Eat Your Man that
Yeah,
he dropped like a couple months prior, like completely different vibes, you know?
for sure.
I mean, if it works, it works. Like, who cares, you know? You're an artist. Like, if you're a painter, all your paintings don't need to be the same color palette and, you know, have the same vibe to it.
For sure. So just on the music production side, what's some advice that you can give to a young producer who, you know, maybe is just starting production or just released their first track? What's some advice you can give them?
Oh, wow. I don't know, just be patient. Like I would say my first 5 months getting into like music production sucked. It was awful. Like it was so frustrating. And I was just like, I don't know, I wasn't having any fun. I thought, you know, if you're getting in and you're learning a new software and you're starting to figure out how to learn and make music, like it's really fun. It was not for me. It was awful. It was so bad. I would just get frustrated and I would hear sounds and like I wasn't able to understand how that sound was made and how to translate that and how to replicate that in my own way. But then you hit the 6 month mark and then you start figuring it out and you start developing your own sound. That's another huge thing too, is like I would say pick like three sounds, like maybe like your top three artists or top three songs that you want to start making music like, and try to achieve that sound. Because the thing is, like, the odds are you won't, but that's a good thing because then you're gonna end up making your own sound, you know. But yeah, now I'm able to get in the software and like actually have fun and like be creative and be like and be rolling through it and be able to make a song in a day. That's the fun part, and just like look towards that goal and just focus on like, okay, whatever. Once I figure out and I learn all of this stuff, like it's not gonna be fun, it's gonna suck. But then I'm gonna be able to have a lot of fun. And now I have a lot of fun. Like I'll just be sitting on the plane. If I'm chilling, I'm like, oh, okay, I got a couple hours, like I'll go through. And also like the more you stack, you know, like all your samples and get more plugins and all of that stuff, you have a lot more creativity and it's super fun. Also collabing with other artists is huge. I like even I think like just like three or 4 months into my music production journey, I hit up a lot of artists and I was like asking them just to send me their project files just so I could see what they did and how they achieved certain sounds and their arrangement. And I think looking at other people's work is really big if you don't have anyone teaching you. Like I didn't have anyone to mentor me or teach me. I had to learn by myself on YouTube, and that sucks.
It's hard. It's really hard. That's how I first learned as well. It's the hardest part is, like you said, like if you're trying to achieve something, a certain sound, and you don't have somebody that can show you how to do it, sometimes it's really hard to find that particular thing on YouTube. And it's like you're searching for 30 minutes trying to find a tutorial on how to achieve a certain sound. It just doesn't exist. Like
also just like learning the lingo as well. And like if you go from someone that doesn't have a music background and then you're going into this, like I was so excited to get into it. I was like, I'm going to start making music now. And then I'm like, oh wait, I don't know anything about music theory. Like there was a whole thing like behind that I didn't even know. I was like, well, this has to be in key, but this has to be in the same key as this and different scales. But I mean, the thing is like the information's out there, you know, just take the time. It's out there though.
Yeah, there's definitely more courses now that you can go and buy and kind of take some courses and learn for sure. Which honestly, like I was doing the YouTube thing too for a really long time, and it helped me making edits and some basic sounds and things. But like I didn't really start putting out my own music until I started getting help from someone who could show me how to do certain things and like teach me the music theory, like you're saying, because I don't have that background either, and I had no clue. Like it's like, oh, let's just slap some sounds together and see what comes out.
I mean, my wallpaper for like 6 months was just like music theory basic pinpoints and like all the different scales and like what's in certain key scales. But yeah, I produce on Ableton, and the reason why I picked Ableton over like, you know, the other DAWs is just because I went on YouTube and I did my research and I tried to figure out which one had the most tutorials on tech house and techno and house music. And Ableton had a lot. And I was like, okay, I'll get Ableton. Yeah. That's why I'm with Ableton.
I think also I think more producers use Ableton. It's easier to collaborate with other artists.
Genre. Which genre is huge. Yeah. But if you're making tech house techno, I would say most of them is Ableton. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. All right, man. So is there anything else? I know you have your song, The Get Down's coming out this week. What else? Yeah. Anything else you want to promo or send people to? We're going to include all your links and everything in the show notes and the promo. So,
yeah, man, I don't know. Just follow my Instagram, turn the post notifications on. I'm the most active person you will find. If you ever go on my Instagram and you DM me, I will reply right away. I post every day. I make it very easy for people to become a fan. I give them a lot of content to check out. Yeah, also TikTok. I'm super active on TikTok. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, we always have, you know, I know everybody says big things coming soon, but big things are always coming. They're always coming. We got a lot of stuff planned out for you guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. When you're putting in as much work as you are, big things are going to start happening. It's like, honestly, like when you're working every day to achieve something, like that work is going to pay off down the line. And you might not see it for 3 months or 6 months or maybe even a year, but I think you're going to see it at some point, you know?
Yeah. Just a little takeaway for if there's aspiring artists out there. If you don't like making content, you kind of just got to bite the bullet. It is what it is, man. Like it sucks. But I mean, I've gained around 20,000 followers just this weekend on Instagram. And that's from posting content, posting reels. And it took me a while. A lot of people see it and they're like, this guy just posted like 2 videos and these 2 videos blew up and now he has all these followers. But it's like, actually, I posted hundreds and hundreds of videos before that with all these different hashtags and all these different sounds, trying to figure out what works and trying to understand it if there is ever any understanding of this. But I mean, you have to be consistent. Consistency is huge. Stack up content. I would recommend you learn how to do everything yourself, all the video editing, because if you hire someone, it gets very expensive very quickly. And I don't know. I don't like relying on other people with like just about anything. So try to learn it yourself. It's not very hard. And learn to love it. Learn to love it because you got to until you're already huge, and then you can go and pawn everything off. But yeah, content's very, very important. then
You're
everything
talking
will
to two
come.
people. You said earlier that you didn't really like being in front of the phone and talking, and I was the person who didn't even want to get on the microphone when I first started DJing, to a
Oh,
point
I
now where I'm
hated
like,
my voice. Oh, I could
yeah,
never.
like
I
my
could
friends used to all
never.
make fun of me. It was the worst. So like, you just have to do it. And once you do it enough, you're not going to
Yeah.
feel uncomfortable anymore. And it's going to be just like anything else that you learn. It's just something you have to go through. That uncomfortable period is going to help make you better in front of the camera. And you just have to do it.
I agree. And people will feel that, to be honest. It's like once you come out there and like you have that stage presence and you have that like I'm here, I'm not shy, like I know what I'm doing, like that's huge. And everybody else just has a better time as well. If you're more comfortable and like I don't know, it's like if you were in the crowd and you're with all your homies and you're having fun, like try to bring that energy up there. It's another huge reason why I love having people on the stage with me is because of like you're even more comfortable because you're with everyone. You know, you're with your homies, or you're with right up people you just met, and you know they're all just trying to have a good time. Nobody's that judgmental, like nobody is. And the people
Yeah.
that are, it's like whatever, they're miserable. Let them be. Like let those comments run wild. Like oh, that's another huge thing. Like don't reply to any of the hate comments because will you get them? Yes, you will. Do you reply? No, you don't. You don't. Let them go on. But yeah, you
Yeah.
be
Keep
you,
it
be
positive.
yourself. Yeah, keep everything positive on social media.
On the stage too, nobody wants to see the DJ that's like not having fun up there. Like you have to be
Yeah.
giving the same energy, if not
It's
more.
huge. It's
Yeah.
huge, 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 huge. Like it doesn't even matter like if your music's amazing, but like people are looking at you and you're like always looking down, like never looking up, like maybe a slight little flick of the fucking come on, dude. Like at the end of the day, like you're a performer. And if you want people to come and see you, you got to give them as many reasons to come and see you as you can, you know?
Yeah, man. You have a little bit of
This
the
thing's
rock star
slow.
in you up there. You got your shirt off and
Oh, I love
tatted
it.
up and
Oh,
just
I
like
love it. I live for it, man. I live for it. No, yeah. I don't know. Things have changed up like a lot in the last like year for me. But at the end of the day, like my priority is building a fan base. And if I'm comfortable, they're going to be a lot more comfortable, you know? But also like growing up in Hawaii is like, yeah, dude, nobody wears a shirt. Are you crazy? What are you doing?
yeah.
It's too hot. We're going to the beach. Like I'm very comfortable with my shirt off just because it's like it wasn't even a thought. Like my older shows that I did in Hawaii, it's like I was with all my friends and it gets hot in there. I'm partying in a warehouse in Hawaii. It's like 90 degrees outside at night. Like, yeah, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm about to pass away. And then it just started becoming a thing. And then like I started getting drunk and I wouldn't even notice it. And then and then it got to the point where it's like now that I don't take my shirt off, people are like, "What are you doing? Are you okay? Like, why are you taking your
Like you're
shirt
not
off?"
having fun.
Yeah, and then also it's like I love my tattoos. Yeah, like I feel like it's very much a part of me, and it's very much a part of my brand. Um, I don't know. You got to be consistent. Yeah.
I love it, man. Be consistent. I think
Yeah.
that's a great way to wrap it up here. Anything else? Anything else? Any takeaways? Anything else you want to put out into the world?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. Everything will happen, and everything does happen for a reason, and I truly believe that. I've been down a million paths in my life. I started off in video production. I had a clothing brand that I got rid of. I lost a lot of money. I worked in a restaurant. I dropped out of high school on my 16th birthday. Like, I have been up and down and up and down and up and down. And I've asked myself a million times, like, why isn't this video blowing up? Why aren't these people replying to me? Why is this not happening? Why is that not happening? And the biggest thing you could do is just put everything on yourself and don't leave it up to chance and don't leave it up to other people to bring you to where you want to be. If you want to get big and you're sitting back and you're like, my music's there, but like I need X, Y, and Z and I need these people to hit me back, like don't rely on anybody. Like don't. Like if I don't get a show, if I'm not making enough money, if I'm not doing this, if I'm not doing that, that's nobody's fault but myself. If I don't have a certain amount of followers, I don't have a certain amount of streams, that's not because the algorithm hates you. If you post a reel and you get no views, or you post a TikTok and it gets no views, that's not because, oh, poor me, I'm just so unlucky, nothing's working. Like, don't get down on yourself. Just like ask yourself, why is this not working? Look at what does work and just keep trying. Because it'll happen. It will. Like, believe that. Like, 1 year ago, I was at 800 followers 1 year ago today. And now we're sitting at 28,000, you know? And And everything happens for a reason, and just like push through it, because you could do it. You know you could do it. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to us. That's why this is pulling up on your page. It's because you know you could do it. You just need a little push down the street, and then you'll start attracting amazing people. Like, I have the most amazing team of people behind me. Like, I have like all my friends and all the people in the industry. Whenever I post stuff, they repost it and they comment. And if you're putting out good energy and you're making it very clear to people that you're trying your best and you're doing well, people will believe in you, and people want to join that, and people get attracted to success, and people get attracted to people that, put in all the work, and they want to be a part of the journey, and they want to say that they knew you before you were big. They want to say that. So just give them every reason to, that's all. We're getting deep, huh?
I love it, man. I love it. I think that's a great place to end, man. ZUEZEU, thank you so much for joining us today. And listen, new track, The Get Down, out this week. Go check it out. Go check out his music. He's got dope music. Remixes, originals. Go check out his music, SoundCloud, Spotify, all the places.
We're dropping 2 tracks every month. A bootleg remix on SoundCloud and an official drop on Spotify and everything. Every month I'm dropping 2 tracks because we're putting the work in. We're putting the work in over here. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Put that work in. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Get Down. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening to the Get Down podcast. If you enjoy our show and find the topics entertaining or helpful in any way, we would greatly appreciate if you could subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you listen to it. We want to help more DJs, and subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show is the best way for us to do that. We appreciate all the love so far. Thanks for listening, guys.